Good evening, and we're back in Antalya for the 2026 Predator European Pool Championships organised by the European Pocket Billiard Federation. 8-ball is the game, and it's time for the three finals, so let's meet the players. Firstly, on table 3 we have the under-23s. It's an all-German final, so will you welcome Yumadorna? And his opponent, Denis Lashkovsky. Moving on to table 2 with the women's final. And representing Austria, Jasmine Ocean. And from Spain, Maite Ropero. And finally, on table 1, it's the men's final. And will you welcome, from Norway, Emil Andre Gangflot. And his opponent, representing Spain, Juan Carlos Exposito. The men's finals are a race to 8 and the women a race to 6, and your referees in charge of the action. On table 3, Alexander Vulovic of Serbia. On table 2, Alexandru Balash of Romania. And here on table 1, Eva Poskochilova of Czechia. Players, you may lag for the break.
Good evening, pool fans, and a very warm welcome. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. A final showdown between the Norwegian Emil Andre Gangflot and Juan Carlos Exposito representing Spain. Juan Carlos won the leg. As you can see, this is the final of the 8-ball men's division. It's an alternate break, and it is my distinct pleasure not only to introduce a good friend, a true gentleman on and off the table, Graham Hickman. Hi, Graham.
Hey, Aria. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, this is going to be really great. I'm super excited to see this one. Can we say young versus experienced? Obviously, the young Norwegian player. He's been doing a bit of damage in the 8-ball area. Just checking up some stats on him, and yeah, he's been a bit of an 8-ball monster over the last few years. He's won a couple of golds in the juniors, 22 and 23. Even in 24 he got a silver, and in 21 he got a bronze, so this is definitely one of his best games. But I have to say, I think Juan Carlos coming through his semi-final with an absolute thriller, 7-4 down to get, I do believe it's his first final area as well, so really looking forward to see how he performs in this. So yes, very much looking forward to this.
Yeah, a great sum up there, and as you said, not only his first final, his first European Championships medal secured. So yeah, and lastly on the experience part, in age and probably playing the game, sure, he might have an edge, but then when you look at the results and you see one player has won multiple European Championships, you could argue of the two players, Gangflot is the more experienced. It's just whichever way you want to look at it, I suppose.
Yeah, totally agree. It's a really fair point. And I think, on one hand, yeah, when you've already been there and done it, whether you're a junior or not, I think that's going to go a long way in this match. Obviously, both very good 8-ball players. As we know in this game area, the break is the biggest part, and it can really be a big game changer in these matches. Getting a ball off the break is the most important thing, which he has done here. The table's not terrible. Stripes are looking okay. He's got a good starter. No major problems that jump out other than a little cluster around that middle part of the table.
What's he done there, Graham?
Wow. It's one of them shots, Arya, where you're thinking, I'll just send it into that space and I'm pretty much guaranteed to have a shot. And wow, I think he's locked on that 8-ball. He's in a bit of trouble here. Can he go up and down and kick this one in the side? It might be his only shot.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? As long as he hits the stripe. Nicely done. Good recovery. But again, might have to play another great shot.
Well, that's unlucky, isn't it? I mean, he has played a really good shot there to get out of jail, you would think. He has another shot look at it. You would think when it would left the cue ball, I thought, with the object ball, sorry, he's probably going to get a look at something half decent. But this is not easy in the side. His pockets are quite tight, so that's why he's taking the one in the corner. I don't blame him.
Yeah, and you and me know, Graham, the conventional pool player is not really a fan of the bridge, and it makes it even harder when that object ball is in the way as well.
Yeah, he's got to mind his work and he's missed it. Obviously, only seeing a fraction of that cue ball didn't help the situation. Presented a, well, has to be said, a pretty good chance here for Emil. Again, look at the table there. All the balls are in the quite funny area in the middle of the table. Nothing near a rail. I can imagine the cue ball not doing too much traveling if you can control it pretty well in the center of the table.
Yeah, exactly. I actually recall a routine, we called it brainwash, where you basically had all of the balls lined up pretty much evenly spread in the middle of the table, and you have to clear the table without any nudges or using the rails. Not necessarily exactly the same position as this, but that was a very good routine for your cue ball control. Reminds me a bit of that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And these are kind of perfect training situations. He's potted these kind of balls many times before. You can just play a little stop shot here. Probably, well, he might have a little bit too much angle, but you can play on even 3 balls here if he wants. Could play the one there just next to the cue ball above the 8 into the side. We can stun it over. Yeah, this is a perfect start for the man from Norway.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to do a bit of commentary on his previous matches over the past 2 days. He's beaten so many good players, Sanjin Pelivanovic, Matej Snigoki, of course, in the semifinals, Wojciech Szewczak. Pretty sure I forgot another name, and not only beating them, in a very convincing manner, and that's the main thing. He's never looked like missing. He's never looked like he's lost his head. So yeah, I'm expecting big things from this man at the table.
Yeah, there's some names there. That's a few scalps for sure. But I think, like what you said at the start, Arya, his youth experience of winning so many medals and putting himself over the last 3-4 years in the junior game, I think you could already see it coming. He was definitely going to be a force in the 8-ball game, and he's showing that in this European Championships. Guaranteed a silver, but he wants that gold. Might just take his medicine on the 8-ball here. Not Sure if he'll run the cue ball. If he can, great. It looks like he's going forward, so he might be okay. Yeah, he was okay to avoid the corner pocket, so early punishment for that mistake. I thought it was nice, Arya. And all the players were having their names called out and coming into the arena. It's always a nice moment for the players. But what I did like, I don't know if you noticed it as well, when he walked through the arena, he made sure he walked past Maria, who was playing on table 2, against Yasmin. Just gave her a little high five. Teammate, well, fellow Spaniard, just to say good luck. I kind of like that. It was nice.
Yeah, exactly. That was something I picked up on as well. Yeah, it's, you know, when you're traveling all these tournaments, you tend to create a lot of friendships. You see each other every event, week in, week out. So, yeah, I fully with you there. You create a camaraderie, friendships that will last a lifetime.
Yeah, 100%. Just some early updates on the score as well. Referee is racking the balls there. So Yasmin has taken the first rack in that match against Maria Rapero from Spain. And then we have the all-German under-23 final. Yuma Dona against Dennis Laskowski. And Dennis has taken the first rack there to go 1-0 up. I'll tell you what, Arya, the Germans, this event, are having a fantastic tournament so far. We had an all semi-final 14-1 straight pool. They're already in the quarterfinals of the teams. It's just so strong at the moment.
Absolutely. Well, they've been dominating the medal total amount. They've won. They are on 6 right now. Well, actually 8 when you consider the youth final. So that's by far the highest. The next country has only got 2 medals. That's been shared with a couple of countries. So, yeah, valid point there, Graham. And whilst we talk about that topic, when you see the break and the layout, this is one of the key reasons, and I'm not saying this to sell myself here. I said it quite early on when we were talking with one of our colleagues about who you could reckon has a good chance to go deep, and based on his previous matches, I said, well, I think he's a dark horse because he's been breaking very, very good. Like you said and pointed out, he's turning out to be quite a specialist on the 8 ball. It is a massive weapon, Graham, to have a good break in 8 ball.
Yeah, 100%. You kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was just thinking the same. Funny enough, great minds think alike after seeing that break. We look at the game very similar, and I think his control of the break, it wasn't overpowered and it wasn't soft. He's really tracking the two balls below the break ball into the middle pockets, and that tells me he's got a lot of experience in breaking, and clearly why he's in the final. If he's been breaking, I haven't watched all of his games, but I know you've had the privilege of some of them, so I guess what you're saying, Arya, he's been doing this all event, doing the damage this way.
Yeah, that is definitely not a overstatement by any means. And you know, the other thing is, he beat one of the Polish rising stars, Simon Kural, and towards the end he had like 2 or 3 pressure pots. And the thing I like the most about it, it's not the fact that he made them, but he never overhit a pressure pot, like very smooth cueing. So I saw pretty much all of the parts of his game, his safety play, his positional play, and of course the breaking, and everything was rock solid. And I thought to myself, how are you going to beat this guy?
Well, it's going to be a tough ask for sure for Juan Carlos, but we do know from many years 8 ball is an interesting game because the break is obviously the break in every rotation game, and a pool in general is very, very important, but I do think that 8 ball has that uniqueness, whereas sometimes in a game, if you don't get a ball on the 9 ball or 10 ball, it's maybe not end of the world, because maybe someone pushes out or doesn't have a shot on a ball. But in 8 ball, if you get a dry break, you know, there's 14 balls on the table that present an opportunity to your opponent. So I do think balls break is, in my opinion, of all the disciplines.
Yeah, perfectly summed up. That's exactly how I look at it as well.
I just like the way he goes around the table. I think you said it, Arya. He's so controlled. Very rare do you feel like he has to overpower a shot. That tells you his positional play is, or his shot selection is very good. Really trying to minimize the traveling of the cue ball and all just stop shots. Just really solid stuff.
Yeah. And you know, the last thing I forgot to mention, of course, like any player on the planet, he has made tiny errors here and there. Not a lot to count. You could count them probably on half a hand. But when it happened, you know, he kept his cool, didn't really look flustered. Like I said, I've seen so many great attributes of a player that, you know, really looks all the part. And, well, you can see it's not all the part. He's actually showing it on the table, which is the most important thing, I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Not only punishing the previous rack for a mistake, giving him the double punishment of breaking and running as well. Even that first shot, I was a little bit surprised he had to send the cue ball that far, but that was the most the cue ball pretty much done in terms of distance, give or take. I think if Emil is breaking in that kind of form throughout this tournament, I think if I was Juan Carlos, of course we haven't really seen him break as much, but you'd be glad that it's alternate break, because I can imagine if a break like that can work well, you could definitely run some racks.
Yeah, like you explained earlier, in 8 ball, when you manage to pot one on the break, you have at least, well, let's say 14 to 13 balls available to you. So you can pick and choose which way you want to go about it. And, you know, just to emphasize on the point you were making, because he's playing Emil and he's seeing the
Mistake there. Kind of the cardinal sin, you would say, in most of the pool games, but definitely in 8 ball, it's catastrophic. Wide open table here. And a chance for Gangflot to get even more momentum. What you're looking at here, Area, where's your head going here? I think he was looking at with stripes. They both kind of work, but there's a little bit of a problem at the top of the table. Maybe stripes present a better opportunity because of the.
Yeah, well, he's left himself almost straight on the 9, right? So you can control the angle he leaves himself on the 10, screw past or stun past the 3 and the 50, and it looks like a very doable shot anyway. So I suppose that's his plan. I'm not saying right after this shot, but you know, he needs to land on the left side, let's say the first diamond closest to the top left corner pocket. That would do the trick.
Yeah, I wonder if he can pot this 12 ball and just thread in a little bit past the 1 ball. Play that stripe in the top right corner. I wonder if that's an option.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. I think if the 4 ball wasn't there, of course, probably would have been down on the shot by now. This is why I love working with you. You always pick up the right shot.
I just think whenever you have an opportunity, in my mind, to go for your problem ball early, it's just always the right shot, because you've got more options that present themselves should you not land on that ball. I mean, how well did he float that in? It's absolutely perfect. And what I like about his shot selection, he's clearing the top half of the table first, and with the 8-ball down table, and those two stripes pretty well connected. It's looking ominous for a 3-0 here, Arya.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more. You know, and his pattern play, which you already mentioned, it's a key feature, sorry, in these rotational games. 8-ball, straight pull. It's not only about pocketing balls. All of these players representing the country can do that to a very high level. It's all about making it easy for yourself, picking out the right shot, and it really helps and goes a long way if you don't have to overthink the situations.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in a couple of shots' time, if he does indeed clear them, it feels like Exposito is already in for a bit of an uphill battle here. I think what could serve him well, though, is having the confidence from his semi-final. Even though he's not really got going yet in this final, he's got to take some comfort from knowing he did come back from 7-4 to make it into the final. You've got to feel great about that. I'm not sure if it's taken a lot out of him also. Could also be something to consider, but be interesting to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that match was I had the pleasure to do the commentary on the semi-final you were referring to. It was really strange because at a point he was like 7-5 down, and it really felt like the table time would have been 70% to his opponent, but yet he was only 2 racks down, so that was an odd game.
Yeah, but still early doors. It's race to 8. And there we see on the other table, Yasmin against Maria in the women's. Yasmin, she's just so strong on the pool table. We say this all the time. I mean, you know, record Euro titles. I think she's on 20 plus now or something. Medals, we've probably lost count. I know she's just came back from Vegas. I did see on her social profiles she was flying back and then had a couple of days at home. Obviously, coming into the Euro Champs a little bit later, if you would like, but straight away into a final. Just relentless. Absolutely incredible on the pool table. Yeah, so let's see on this break area. Just the control that he has. Just trying to get them 2 balls just below the break ball into either one of the side pockets. So let's keep an eye on those 2. Obviously, cue ball in the middle of the table is second objective or main objective, but let's see if he makes any balls in the side.
Do you know what? I've done like 4 matches of him, and I can't really recall him scratching on the break. That's saying something.
Yeah. That's the key to success, isn't it? Keep that cue ball on the table, make a ball, and then the rest is down to your talent. And yeah, this is a great replay if you watch that. Ball in the right side pocket there, clean as a whistle. Not sure what options he has to go at here, though. Maybe not a lot. Is there anything? Question. Don't even know if he's got a shot on. Maybe the 6 ball, maybe? Don't even know if that goes in the bottom corner. 3 ball
I'm
down
sure
the
he
rail.
has a, what is he called here? The 9 ball? Is it the 2 ball? I don't know. He must have a long pot on the 7 into the bottom left corner pocket, but he's not looking. So he's looking at what is he looking at? Is that the 9 ball?
Off
Yes,
the long
it
rail,
is.
in off the solid, isn't it? That's where he's going, I think. It's a big pocket. Cushion first, maybe. In off the 5. Yeah. How about this? Oh, he should have went a bit fatter. It's incredible that. How's he caught the point there? He's thinking, I can't miss that down the rail. He actually should have went maybe a bit fatter. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you could see he was already up and walking around. See, yeah, well, that pot found himself out, but this is what I tried to say is even when he's faced with pressure shots, he's not overhitting them. He's got very, he's got that poise about him. He's very confident in his abilities and, his fundamentals. So that is interesting to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, great chance for Exposito here. Let's see if he can get some momentum going. He has got to keep that 9 ball in mind. It is potable on its own. You don't need to play any kind of creative shot on the 9, it wouldn't seem. It looks like that's what he's trying. Maybe he's going to play the... He's playing the combo, I think. But this could go a little bit awry. If he's going to play onto the 5, he's going to have to play it with a little bit of pace.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he can hit the left side of the 5, that 14 should come up up table. Yeah, he hit the 5 on the right side, and that's gone completely wrong now. Now, if he's got a 3-ball combination on, that is very fortunate. Surely not, right?
That could be a good spot, you know. Not from this view, it doesn't look like, but maybe he can bend it. Well, from there, it's even more deceiving. Well, that would be something. Can he squeeze it? If the balls are touching, maybe he can make an angle.
Well, he's not looked at it. He's trying to kick. Yeah, he's trying to kick the off 2 rails even. Where does the next ball come from? I mean, yeah, he can nudge the 1 and potentially be on the 12, but that's asking for a lot, Graham.
That wasn't a bad effort, was it? Tell you what, as close as it could be. Got position as well, so nearly got out of jail there with another kick shot similar to the first rack. I guess the only saving grace here is the 1 ball is kind of blocked because of that over the corner. But it does go in the top right once you remove that 3 ball, so this will be all about shot selection here.
And of course, he doesn't have to attack if he wants to. He can try and put the green stripe here and send his cue ball up table. Try to hook his opponent on the stripes. It'd be massive favorite.
Yeah, he could even leave the cue ball down table, potentially. Not leave a shot on. It's going your way. The only danger this way is that he does leave, I guess, a jump shot if you like. I don't know if it's one of those old famous trick shots area where the balls are quite close. If he plays it kind of full in the face, could that ball drift over to the corner pocket, if you kind of get what I mean? Not sure if
yeah,
that
trying to
on,
push it off the 11 into the bottom left.
Yeah, it doesn't look on for me, but either way, he's going to call that corner, and yeah, it'll probably go that direction to some degree if he hits it. Yeah, didn't look on really. Oh, that 8 ball might help him. Or maybe not. If that 3 ball still goes in the side, it's a nice last ball to leave for the 8 ball, isn't it, Arya?
Yeah, it is. And, well, I mean, the good news is he's got, like, look, there are at least 2-3 balls in the vicinity of the 3 ball here. So if he can leave himself a good angle, he can decide whether he wants to play pinpoint precise position, or try to develop the 8 or the 3. If he lands, for example, low on the 2, you can play a 2-way shot, right? You try to play position on the 4, and if he lands low on the 2, you can already try and develop the 3 or the 8. There you go.
Yeah, it's a good call. You just have some options. It's always one of those funny ones in my mind. I kind of try to weigh up the value of playing the removing the problem shot. You need to kind of guarantee that you're going to have a shot after. It looks like it could work, but does he need to do it is the other question I always ask myself. is that last ball, the 3 ball, easy enough where I don't need to risk moving anything? It's all about just position then. I think he's going that route, Arya. If he can get quite nice on this 3, why try to move anything? The 8 ball is a drop in, really.
So 2, 6, 3, and then the 8.
Well, a little bit far maybe? Or is he going to try and draw in now behind the 8 ball if that 3 isn't ideal? I don't know. Maybe he's okay. Just looks like he's got a little bit too much, doesn't it? Let's see how he plays it. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, that was a positional error more than anything. He overran the cue ball, what I would say, half a foot, if not more. Had to play a very touch and feel shot. What a reprieve for Juan Carlos. A must take, even though they're not sitting easy by any means.
Yeah, I totally agree. Is he playing safe, Pierre? Behind the 8? Wow, I'm absolutely blown away by that. Could have sworn he could have potted the stripe in the side and maybe try to be creative, but to leave a bit of a sniff. I mean, can he get this 3 in the side? If he can, that's a massive mistake. If not, a bit of a worldie on the 6 is needed.
Yeah, but even though if you can't see the 3, I mean, look at the cue ball. And that should have been literally glued behind the 8 to even consider to call that a good safety. But yeah, I'm with you. Surprised by that shot selection, and I'm sure he is at the execution for at least.
Yeah, that cue ball is a minimum, should have been on the rail. I even left the 3 as well, so that's a huge mistake. Obviously still needs to make this 6 ball, but it's not a bad angle really. You can just punch this over from the left long rail, bring it back over to the right side of the table, you would think. I don't think running it is the option. He's going to punch this in.
Yeah, in your head, you're basically trying to hit the right rail after the left rail. Well, what can you say, Graham? That miss and, you know, positional slip up by Emil Andre Gangflot was a collector's item, and Juan Carlos, well, failed to do anything positive with it. Now, looking at the barrel of a 4-0 deficit, how does he get back in the match from here?
I think, like you say there, it was a bit of a collector's item, very unexpected miscue. I feel for Exposito there. He maybe didn't have such an easy opportunity, you would think, and it's a bit of unfortunate having to play a safety shot when you've got 2 balls left on the table. I'd love to have another look at where the cue ball was with his 2 stripes on the table. I honestly think that one in the side was potable. I'm not saying it was easy position by any means, but 2 balls left, you kind of think you go attacking. Just dropped that 3 ball, mind. But yeah, be a little bit disappointed there, Arya. Even not finding the long rail was a little bit of a, well, say a little bit, a big mistake, really.
Yeah, well, you saw just the replay as well, some of the shots, and it just made me realize when he was on the stripes and we had the 9 combination, even though it was with the solid in the pocket, he had the chance to play that combination, and while doing so, playing position for the 12 and the 11, he literally, well, went to in a different route, and you know, he's had at least 2-3 chances in the previous rack, and at this level, Graham, it is brutal, let's be honest.
Well, you said it. 2 or 3 chances. Not to say that maybe you should take every single one of them, but 4-0 when you've been at the table and had a few looks at trying to win a rack, you could argue maybe at least 3-1, 2-2 might have been a fair score, but it's not And the past is the past. He needs to try and stay focused and not let this final get away from him mentally. Still plenty pool left, and as you can see, unexpected things can happen. Pressure for Emil as well. This would be his men's first as well, so he's, even though he's feeling good, it's still pressure.
Yeah, trying to get that monkey off your back, but I suppose, Graham, when we've all been, you know, at the table, sometimes you can just sense that your opponent is not really up for it. That could have multiple reasons, but you can just sense they're not, you know, intimidating, and it can really help you to relax, knowing that he's likely to punish me if I make, you know, the tiniest of errors.
Well, one thing is for clear, is for sure. When the chances come, if you don't take them, to mirror the words you said, you will be punished at a high level, especially in 8-ball. Oh, he's played a nice shot there, I think. Would have been nice to have been a little bit straighter on the stripe to the left of the cue ball. I kind of feel he might be running into this one here. Needs to be careful, because this could go wrong. I'd be half tempted not to play this one right now, to be honest, but that's okay. He's going to have to come back down for the other stripe after this. So there's still a little bit of pool left in this area, I think. He's going to have to play a couple of good shots. He would have liked to have taken all 3 stripes down here out the way together. Don't think that's the option now. He's going to have to travel the cue ball somewhat.
Yeah, exactly. That 11 ball seems to be the key shot in a rack. So can he leave himself a nice angle after this 10 ball? He's got the option to come off the side rail and creep towards the 11. Matter of preference, I would have thought, Graham.
Yeah, but he does need to take it now. He does need to come down the table, really. Doesn't want to be leaving that 11 for his last ball. The stripe right next to the black is perfect position for options. I like the real option that you said, Arya, to be honest. How's the pace? Oh, that's pretty good, isn't it? What a shot. Perfect.
Absolutely perfect. The best possible angle he could have left himself on the 11. I'll tell you what, Graham, the 9 ball still has to start tomorrow. If he can play like this, even in the 9 ball, he's a dark horse for sure.
Wow. I mean, can we even use that word anymore? I guess dark horse is kind of somebody who's unknown, who you don't expect to really go far or unexpected to win, but judging by his performances, I'm pretty sure he's well known on the circuit. He's really kind of showcasing what he can do. He has done over the juniors and creeping into the men's with some authority. Granted, in the Euro Tour levels, he's maybe only had the last 16 as best, I think. But even that is pretty good in itself. We know how tough these fields are. So credit to both players. Exposito will be over the moon. If we had said at the beginning of the European Championships, hey buddy, you want to be in the final of the 8-ball, he would have been absolutely over the moon. But 5-0 down, Arya. It's a big ask to come back from this, mind.
Yeah, everything is contextual, isn't it? You'd say, hey buddy, you're in the final. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, but you're gonna get hammered. Oh, well, not know about that one.
Well, you would still take it, wouldn't you? But here we see split screen. Just quick update on the other table. Yeah, they're in a little bit of a battle there. Yasmin 3-1 up against Maria Teresa Ropero. So still a bit of pool left in that one. And Yuma Dona's just equalised 3-3 against his fellow German compatriot Dennis Laskowski. That one is going a little bit tight there. Race to 8 on that one. Race to 6 in the women's. We have a race to 8 in this one, Aria. 5-0. And I think it's Emil's break to come as well. So if he continues the break that he has been doing, could we be staring at a 6-0 in the face?
Yeah, and for the neutral spectators, we did have a donut one-man show in the 10 ball when Daniel Maciol beat Jakub Koniar 8-0. Could we have another 8-0 on our hands?
Well, I hope not. I hope not. It would be nice for Juan Carlos to get at least something on the board. I'd never like to write anybody off at all, and you and Aria, over the years of doing this, we've seen many matches flip on their head, and you kind of think there's no way this guy can lose from here. But then all of a sudden it's 5-5, and you think, what on earth has happened? So anything can happen in pool, but things do need to change, that's for sure. A dry break is what he's hoping for, and it's not. He's finding the corner pockets as well as the side, so danger zone.
Yeah. I didn't expect to say this after 6 racks. Well, 5 racks, 6 racks starting. Juan Carlos is now at the point that he has to play perfect and hope he gets a couple of opportunities on Emil his break.
Yeah, he's just hoping for a little bit of a problem table, or maybe just something that is a bit tricky to run out, because generally 8 ball is a run out game. This is kind of a table that could present that opportunity, because even though the balls are all potable, it's not a dot to dot. 6 and the 7 is pretty close, but there's a stripe causing a little bit of the corner. He's having to cannon into a 9 ball here, and it's worked out pretty well. This is a key shot. I do think the 7 ball is potable even on its own. So one good shot here.
Interesting line, but still.
I don't think he played that. I think he played to come on the other side, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I would have. I agree 100%. But nevertheless, he's still in prime control.
Yeah, I think it's worked out absolutely perfect. And hey, he might have played that way. Don't get me wrong. It's just a lot more riskier. But look at the position here. You can even bump the stripe. Just draw this back a touch and play the 8 ball in the top left corner. Have to use the bridge, or he's a tall kid, so quite a long extension he's got on his cue as well. So maybe he can reach this. Just a little drawback area, you would think. Play the 8 in the top left corner. Don't do too much.
Yeah. Look, Graham, 6-0 is looking ominous, and what we've been playing a little less than 45 minutes. Not even 45, I would say 40 minutes. If you take out the re-racks and what have you, effective, play less than 40 minutes, 6-0 up, just 2 racks away from what would be a hammering.
Yeah, let's not forget the walk-on as well. I had to introduce all the players, so I guess table time. Quite interesting to know exactly how long it's been played. This 8 ball, he's given it a lot of care because he knows it's not a straightforward. Of course, we expect him to make it, but playing the balls this way into an open pocket, and make sure you're accurate. And he is just that. That was a good finish. That wasn't straightforward as the previous ones, and yeah, he weathered the storm pretty well there. A few little bumps into balls. Wonder if Exposito takes a time out area. Sorry, he was standing up. I don't know if that was to get the balls out or was he leaving the arena.
Yeah, after this, the 5. Bit of a scare here. Have a look.
there we see. No timeout. Maybe he's thinking, let's just get on with this. Either way, is he thinking, get me out of here, or is he thinking, let's just keep going? I don't know. What would you do, Arya? 6-0 down, probably feeling you haven't really got into the match. Is it worth a timeout at this stage, or do you just sit there feeling a little bit frustrated and deflated, carry on?
Well, I mean, it is a very good question. Look, I suppose the only question I'd ask by answering your question is, will it make any difference? So if you're 6-0 down and you don't feel like you've been involved in the match, even though he's had at least 2 or 3 visits, scoring visits, you just ask yourself, if I now take 5 minutes, what will it change?
Yeah, I guess the only person we could ask would be Juan Carlos, because the key question that comes into my mind is, what was he thinking in his mind? If he starts to doubt himself, thinking this match is over, then I would say yes, take a timeout, because that's not the mindset you want. If he's thinking, come on, give me a chance, just want a chance, then stick with it, because you're in a good frame of mind. It's being able to understand when maybe you need to reset yourself. But yeah, look, that was a pretty good break though, and he's got a ball, and he does have a chance. He's got a chance for stripes or solids. I think solids maybe, but stripes aren't too bad as well. There's quite a few good connecting balls. The stripe on the right side of the table, just above the middle pocket, is probably the biggest problem I would see, only because it's an awkward one to get to. Well, that'll work.
Yeah, exactly. He's just pushed to 8 right in the open. Well, come on, Juan Carlos. Get that first rack on the board.
Yeah, I would love him to take these out. Just really try not to do too much complicated stuff. Maybe take what the table gives you and try not to bump into too much balls. He does have an option to bump into this one on the rail, but now the 8 ball is where it is. If he can avoid it, I'd much prefer to do that. Yeah, I like his line there. Can he pot it and just come down for the stripe just below the 8? Let's see which way he plays it.
Yeah, I do want to remind you that 13, even though it's pretty central, it is sitting in an awkward spot, so it'd be advised to take care of the 13 ball as soon as possible as well.
Yeah, he's looking at it now. Is he going to drop this one up the rail? Play it with a little bit of left-hand spin and try and just drift it up to kind of the center line of the table, maybe. Have a shot on this in the side. Needs to pull up. Oh, I think he's just okay. It's not perfect. He's bridging a little bit, I think, Arya, but he might have an okay angle to just drop it in. Do you think he's going to bump into the 8 ball here, or can you avoid that?
It's going to go close. Can he stun around the back of it for the 12 into the same middle pocket? Oh, he's dropped it in that weight. Well, a little risky, but played to perfection.
Yeah, that's a good shot, but judging by his little grimace in his face, that tells me he's probably a little bit going to the right after making contact with this ball, which is a problem, because then he can't manufacture it. Can he put a bit of a draw and come around the 1? Kind of go around the back? I don't know. A lot of left-hand spin.
He's going forward. Yeah.
That's what he's tried. Well, it's not bad. It's as good as you could have got, to be honest. I would probably take that. It's thin, but it's workable.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to jinx him. If he does not overhit this, he should be fine. Not to flirt with either of the middle pockets with his cue ball.
Oh,
Well, go on, my man. at least get that first rack on the board.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good for him to get one there. That'll do his confidence good. Had to work for that though. Little wipe of the brow. Don't blame him. It's not coming easy at the moment. He's fighting. Wasn't a straightforward table either. A couple of good shots there. I like this next shot. I do like the one that he dropped in the middle. This one coming up next. He had to play it so delicate. He played it so light that he was able just to drift past the 8 and managed to get round the balls to the black. Get one on the board. On the other tables. Wow, we're just getting the balls racked. Dennis Laskowski. 4-3 up now. Madoma. Yasmin is still 3-1 up. Rick Maria. Rapero. That's been 3-1 for a little while, which is quite interesting in 8-ball. You don't generally see a huge amount of safety play, so maybe something's going on over there. Bit of a tactical battle. But I think like what you said before, Arya, even if he plays perfect pool from here on Carlos, let's be honest, the destiny of this final is really in the hands of this man, because he's going to have a few breaks from now. He just needs 2 to go well. I'd love to get this one straight on though.
Oh yeah, for sure, Graham. I'm gonna ask you it anyway. Would it be unfair to say it is his to lose at this point?
Yeah, I mean, the way that he's breaking. There you go, another one in the side. Absolute monster break. Oh, the pool god's going to gift him a nice open table. He's just breaking so well. So he is. I think Juan Carlos is going to be at the mercy of maybe mistakes. You've got to imagine a little bit of pressure come at some point. Not to say that will cause a miss or anything like that, but still a big moment. European champion. Even getting one is an accolade. For sure. Nobody can take it away from you. Your name will be in the books for history.
Yeah, that's a good point. And just the other day, I'm not so sure if that is the accurate percentage. I asked AI if you would consider all the world population and factor in all the individual sports, including cue sports, even chess. What is the percentage of people across the entire world that get to call themselves a world champion or a European champion, regardless of the age group? Well, and the answer was less than 0.01%. So that should tell you something.
Wow, that's an incredible stat. That's yeah, that's remarkable. I guess when you look at it from a mathematics point of view, it kind of makes sense, right? Millions of people, only a very small percentage actually do these kind of activities, so it makes a bit of sense. But yeah, makes you quite unique, doesn't it, Arya? I think, winning any kind of title in something that you love is such a wonderful thing. But these players have got plenty of opportunities, especially this young man. He's going to have many, many years, and I'm sure he's going to do some damage on the table. He's going to have to do something here, though, because he's judging the little flick off the 8, and the 8 ball is going to go into that solid and the stripe below, you would think. It's going to open them up. Might open them up like a bunch of flowers here. He's going to be on the 9 ball in the top left corner, you would think, as well. Oh, he doesn't want to go behind there. That's not what he wanted at all. Yeah, I think he was thinking I'll be on the 9 all day there, Arya.
Yeah. Well, there's a tough pot coming up here on the 14. If he can somehow control his cue ball, he might be up and running once again.
the 8 ball for me. Just thinking, does it go in this bottom left? I think it does. Needs to avoid the 5. It's going to be close. He's going to have a bank to save the day. Well, no, that's incredible. I don't think he's got a shot. Can he see this? If he can, then he's been very fortunate. Maybe from the overhead we might get a bit of a look. Oh, well, even better from here. There you see.
No.
Well, Juan Carlos needed a bit of help from somewhere. He might have a little bit here. He's getting his cue in his hand, so he knows he's coming to the table. Can he put him behind the 8 ball here? I don't know. No, he's not able to get there. Well, do you take this 5 on, Arya, or do you play safe?
No. I would definitely attack. This is it. Look, you've practiced for thousands of hours to be in this position. You gotta take that 5 ball on, and you gotta back yourself. But you know, he's looking at a safety, so he probably feels different about it.
Yeah, I just think where the stripes are. If he goes for the 5, and misses it, it's game over. Whereas here, okay, maybe he hasn't played the best safety. Actually, he's left a bit of a bank here, you know. It's not straightforward, but he's left a bit of a power bank. The only thing for me, Arya, is how is he going to keep a hold of that cue ball, because it looks a little bit high. So he's going to lose this cue ball a bit, potentially anyway. Well, here we go. This is a chance he wanted. He will definitely be attacking now. Having a little look at that 1 ball. I think it flies in. So there you see, good angle. The 1 does go.
Yeah, this is a great chance. Look, we always say this, when you're behind, as long as you can keep your opponent away from the hill, there is still a bit of hope left. Obviously, you have to produce the goods, needless to say.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another point to add on that as well, Arya, is when someone's so close to the winning line, the more chances that you don't take, just add even more pressure on yourself to get over that line. They always say it's generally the hardest one to win, to get over the line. You see it on many different sports, but just need to take these out. He's got a lot of options, so doesn't want to paralysis by analysis. Just pick your route and take it. He's leaving that 6 ball till the end, you would think, which is a nice way to get an easy 8 ball. Just roll this one in the side and play the 1 in the top right corner, leaving the 6 ball till the end. That would be my way.
Yeah, that seems like the most sensible option.
That's pretty good. Just stun this out a little bit. You'd love to be perfectly straight on this 6 ball. Means that cue ball doesn't have to do anything other than just stop dead. It's exactly what he would love. Perfect on the 8. That'll do the job. Well, here we go. All of a sudden, 6-0 turns into 6-2. Juan Carlos to break. If you can get that one on the board, Arya. Well, not to say anyone's getting worried, but things are definitely changing a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. At the very least, it asks the question of your opponent. Who knows?
Most important thing is, like you say, keeping your opponent off the hill. We've had a slight update in the women's match over on table 2. Yasmin is 4-2 in front now, and still locked on 4-4 in the German final under 23s. Madonna and Dennis Laskowski. That's a race to 8, so halfway house for those guys. It's a great view. You see all the matches in operation all together. Big moments. Everything at stake.
Big break required, Graham.
Yeah, we said at the same time. Big break required for sure. Needs a ball massively. He's going to get one in the side. Cue ball's good. Oh, this is a lovely break. Wow, just what he needed. Quick glance, it's going to have to be solids. Potentially stripes just don't look as favourable. Too many problems. But he does have a couple of solid starters. Wow. If you can take these out, Arya. Not hanging around.
Yeah, there's a reason we always say one rack at a time, one ball at a time. That's pretty much all he can control.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a funny break as well, because all these spots, with the exception of the 5 ball, even just, are pretty much over pockets. So interesting. He's going down table now. He wants to get that 5 out of the way, because it is a little, needs to slow down. He's played it well though. And then he's only got table space, loads of it to play with up table. Can't really see anything going wrong here. Wow, nearly a commentator's curse there, Arya. Goodness me.
I was just waiting to say, you said again?
Yeah, for a moment there, I thought he was going to stun behind the stripe, but he's speeding up as well, isn't he? He's just thinking, let me just get these balls down, get this rack on the board as quick as possible. And let's move on to the next. A bit of a spring in his step. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm with you. And we could see a timeout anytime soon. If this goes 6-4, I think we can probably expect a timeout. Still a long way to go, even though it's looking pretty much guaranteed 6-3. If he can just apply himself on this 8 ball after having trailed 6-0, well, it is a mini comeback for sure.
Yeah, this next rack is going to be the big one for me. Because if Emil Andre can get a chance again, because he has been breaking well, if he can get a chance to run out another rack and doesn't take it, and then Juan Carlos can steal it, then like you say, I do think a timeout maybe might come then. It would make a bit of sense, even if it's coming from the man from Norway. Of course, he needs to take the opportunity out, but yeah, this is, well, every break's a big one, but this is quite big in the context of the match, because if he doesn't win this one 6-4 and then Exposito breaks again, blink of an eye, we could be 6-5, and then it's like, wait a minute, what on earth's happened here? That's one of those things where you and I know, Arya, the pool gods are never forgiving too much. would we see a dry break here just to mix it up a little bit? He's breaking perfect all match so far. Is it one of those ones where statistics? No, another awesome break. Well, it's definitely going to be stripes, I think. Look at the solids at the bottom, but I think he has to take these, to be honest. Otherwise, the timeout's definitely coming because the wheels would have just came off a little bit.
Yeah, if he can... I mean, it's a shame. It's likely going to take the 11. Let's say if he could somehow take a different shot and then play position on that purple 12, just have a little bump on the 15. That 11 would always be there, but now he has to take it. Ooh, that is quite lively.
There's a cue ball going. No, he's all good. He's overdrawn that maybe a touch, but might work in his favour.
Yeah, he might be able to bump the 15 off the side rail, and in doing so you can play position on the 10.
Yeah, that might work if you can avoid hitting the stripe and go straight into the long rail. That's not what he wanted, and now all of a sudden it's becoming messy.
Needs a precise positional shot here, Graham. That cue ball needs to cross the table, go towards the third diamond or the first diamond, just above the right middle pocket.
Yeah, this can go wrong. How's the speed? It looks a bit short. Is it going to get there? Well, it does. I think he's got the wrong angle though, Aria. It's hard to tell from this. Maybe on the overhead, we'll see if there's another angle he might have, but well,
yeah,
he might have to come up with another good shot.
He might have to settle for the bank for the 15 into the same corner pocket. If he's not got an angle.
I think that's the shout, you know. Trying to get back for a pinpoint position, maybe not be worth it. Yeah, great call. It's going for the bank area. This is a massive moment.
Well, essentially this is match point, really. This to go on the hill. And I'll tell you what, Graham, if I was sat in the seat, I would not feel too confident that he's going to miss this. Match point.
Tell you what, given where these stripes were, this has been a fantastic run out.
Well, Graham. Yeah, I was about to say, he managed to stop the rot there.
Yeah, in some style. This shot here for me was the key one. What a great positional shot, followed by a great bank as well. Having the bonus that the 8 ball was pretty much over the side, so that will make him feel fantastic. Has Emil just taken a timeout there? I think he has. He's taken a quick timeout. Just while the players are taking a timeout, I'll give you a quick update on the scores. Yasmin and Maria Rapero there are 4-4, so Spain coming back in that one. Only race to 2 now, so huge match there. And Madonna has taken a 5-4 lead over Denis Laskowski in the under-23s, so they're all very, very close. Yeah, Emil's taking a short timeout, so Aria and myself will just take a very brief timeout. We'll be back the moment Emil is back in the arena to conclude this match. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. We're here in the final of the 8-ball at a very crucial moment. Myself, Graham Hickman, in the box with Arya Sharabi. We've been talking you through this final, and I tell you what, it's been fantastic from a starting point of view. 6-0 up. Emil Andre Gangflot, Exposito with a mini comeback. Where do we go from here, Arya? Is there still light at the tunnel for the man from Spain?
If I had to bet my house on it, I would say no. But look, one ball at a time, one rack at a time. Just, you know, try to do your part and see if you can get a chance. That's all you can hope for, really.
Yeah, very true. It's a good break though. Balls are laid pretty okay. Nice easy starter. Plenty of options. He's going straight down table. He's playing for the 10 now. Did he overrun that? Maybe this was his intention. I don't know if the 8-ball goes in the bottom right area. If it does, that makes life a little bit easier. Just because there's options. Well, there's the view. I think it does go past, but the reason why I say that is because the stripe that he's on now down the long rail, that would have been a nice ball to leave the 8, but he could use the one over the middle to get on the 8 for the same pocket he's playing the stripe now. Is that what you would think, Arya? Maybe he's going for?
Yeah, the green stripe, that if that is the 14 ball. So you can take the 11 top right, then the 13, leave himself a good angle on the 14 into the right middle pocket, and he should be set to make it 7-4.
Oh, he's played that well. Position he's left that kind of a natural, just to come off 1 or 2 rails. He's going off 2 to come into the line of the 14. Really nice finish this. This is all he can really do, to be honest, and hope that he gets a chance from the Gangflot break.
You know, when it's all said and done, and if it goes the way of Emil Andre Gangflot, which is on the cards, of course, still, you'd have to say to him, fair play, you were 6-0 down. To get 4 racks on the board is definitely not a bad achievement.
No, definitely not. And of course, it's not over. We know that. I think if you look at it in segments, you know, from being 6-0 down, the next little mini barrage of racks, he's taken them 4-1.
Make a mistake at any given moment. But, you know, based on the previous matches I've done commentary for Emil, he's not got that type of cue action where you can see him do create a break and run, ideally for his point of view.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's see. We'd love to finish the job right here, right now with this break. Let's see if he can, well, repeat what he's been doing pretty much whole match. Keep an eye on the balls towards the centre pockets again. Feel like he's dialed into that space. There you go again. Where's the cue ball going to be? Well, it's going to be maybe forced into solids here, Arya, you would think. It's not terrible. They all go.
Yeah. He could take, if he wants to play the stripes, he could take the 13 into the right middle pocket, but like you said, he's got options.
Yeah, I think he's got a nice angle here to kind of come up towards the middle table. Somewhere above the 8-ball would be nice. He's got probably options of, well, all 5 remaining solids, really, if he can get up there above the 8. Or even he's going to go in between, which is more risky. Well, He's hampered if he wants to play the red 3. He's probably going to have to go up table, which is still fine. This 3 ball is going to be the key one in the end because it's a little bit more congested around that segment of the table. But that might be a problem for a few moments from now.
Well, Graham, I have to say this looks pretty ominous, but nevertheless, I'll ask you it anyway. Will there be another chapter in this story?
Well, looking at the balls, you would kind of think not. But if you remember a few racks back, when we seen that miscue, not to say that that would be likely, but anything is possible. It's all about position on this next shot for me. So he's going to have to play this 1 ball off 1 rail. Kind of probably wants to be, well, you would think somewhat semi-straight on this red 3 is the last ball. Because the 8 ball does go in the right centre and it does go in the left centre. I don't think it goes in the top right. So a little bit off angle on that 3 ball, and he could probably, well, where the 4 ball is now, if the cue ball was there, he could kind of draw the 3 up for a shot on the side maybe. He's overran it, maybe a touch. No, he's okay. I think he can just delicately drop this in and get pretty close to the red 3 area, yeah.
Yeah, basically he needs to make sure that he stays on the left side of the 8 ball, just to guarantee he leaves himself a shot on the 3. That's gone wrong, Graham. That has gone wrong.
Well, I don't really know what to say there. That's an absolute horror show of his positional shot. He didn't even need to be anywhere near that closeness to the 3. He could have just killed the cue ball and had any kind of shot on the 3, really. All of a sudden, is there another chapter in this story? Well, unless he pulls out some kind of ridiculous shot in the side off the 9. Which I think that's what he's looking at. He's some way to win it, if he can make this happen. He's got to be playing this off the 9.
Yeah, I agree. I was about to say pressure can do crazy things. Well, this could be shot for the ages if he can make it. It's not there.
Well, I'm going to say a word, Aria. I'm going to say deja vu for Exposito. Look at that scoreline. Is it written in the stars? 7-4. He was 7-4 in his semi-final. Is this the pool god saying, I'm on your side here. I'm going to give you a chance if you take it out. It's yours.
And he's got a timeout available to him, hasn't he? Juan Carlos.
Yeah, yes he does.
Wow.
But this is, like I said to you before, the more chances that Gangflot doesn't take, the more you feel it's going to put even more pressure on him. And Exposito will be thinking, all of a sudden, there's a few cracks showing here. He doesn't want it, or he can't get over the line. From experience, when you see your opponent struggling to get through, it does give you a little bit of a extra boost to try and turn the needle and try and punish him even more.
I'm going to say something, and I think you're probably going to disagree with me. Even though it was a great chance for Emil, he might be okay. And I say that only for the reason that it was a positional error. Sometimes when you miss, let's say, this 12, right? The purple 12 into the side pocket, which seems unmissable. If you miss a shot like that, you know, your head is gone. What is happening? What is happening?
Yasmin. Interesting that all the lights go crazy. I'm surprised that would be the case.
I've never seen this happen before.
Obviously, the celebrations are normal, but maybe the lights flashing. It's interesting timing, but thankfully, no drama, no harm done.
You could see him say to the ref, "¿Qué pasó?" Well, here we are, Graham. It seemed very unlikely. Is there another chapter to the story? Well, right now, you have to say, yes, there is.
Quite incredible, to be honest. 6-0 in the front. Somehow we're 7-5. And I'll tell you what, this match is far from over. Exposito now with a break coming as well to kind of really bang on the door of the Norwegian and say, hey, I'm right behind you. What's your answer? And then he's going to put the pressure on. Potentially, he could put the pressure on the last break of Emil. And then that would be something, wouldn't it? Because then he has to take them out. Otherwise, it's back in the hands of the Spaniard. Crazy stuff. Crazy. But yeah, that was Yasmin winning the women's. Just obviously, we've seen all the celebrations. She won 6-4 against Maria Teresa Ropero. Great showing for her. And Yasmin picking up another medal. Endless medals for days she has. Just goes to show her longevity in this game. Quite remarkable. In the under-23s, Umadona is now 6-5 in front of Denis Liskowski. Race to 8. So they just nip and tuck all the way, Aria. But this is the one we're very much intrigued on at the moment. How will this break turn out?
Yeah, this match had two parts. Beginning part, 6-0 for Emil Andre. And the second part, well, Juan Carlos, 5-1 up. Unbelievable stuff. Can he produce a break and run?
Well, he makes a ball, makes two balls maybe. No. Solids at first glance, Aria. There's a little collection of stripes which kind of, you look at that and go, not for me. I think these solids are definitely the way to go for obvious reasons. Yeah, those stripes are a little bit of a problem there. Incredible, this. Absolutely incredible.
It's called a 3-ball here. He's trying to get rid of the one. Partially blocked in a couple of pockets.
Well, that's okay, but it could have landed a bit better. It's not just being very picky, obviously. If it was right over the hole, then just makes that 6-ball a little bit more straightforward and less worry in your mind to think, where do I need the cue ball? But, I mean, it's fine, obviously, Aria, but yeah, just makes it a little bit more interesting.
Well, I'm going to ask you this, Graham. Can you even see this go wrong? In this rack?
We had the same conversation in the last rack with Gangflot. I don't think, in your mind, you think it can't go wrong. Pressure and moment and size of moment do crazy things. But momentum-wise, it's definitely in the way of the man from Spain. Even though the score is 7-5, you have to feel confidence-wise is building with this man. The one thing that will happen, and you know this just as much as I, Aria, 6-0 down, he's thinking, I've got no chance of winning this potentially, in the back of his mind. All of a sudden, at 7-6, he knows he has a real chance of winning this. Oh, that's just landed a little bit awkward, because you can't roll the middle of the 3 solids in, I don't think. This is a problem. This is not straightforward.
When he was on the 6-ball, I was about to say, he really needs to make sure he hits this hard enough, because he doesn't want to flirt with the 15. And well, did he hit it hard enough in terms of passing the 15? Yes, he did, but just. And now it's become awkward. Now the putt on the 4 here is not difficult, but he's not the tallest guy, is he? It's quite a stretch.
Well, he's played that really well, hasn't he? Needs one more good shot though. There is an option to go behind the 7 from the long rail, but I kind of feel drawing it is the best option here to give the better angle. Yeah. Lots of clicking of fingers in the crowd. That would indicate his Spanish teammates urging him on, and rightly so. He's okay. I thought he was going to be on the 50-yard line for a moment. Well, this is everything you want from a final. Someone you think is going to run away with it. All of a sudden, table turns. And we've got a bit of a thriller here after this goes down. It is indeed. How about this for a big break coming up, Arya? His last break. Man from Norway. Oh, he's taking his time out. What do you think about that?
Well, look, I actually think that's a tactical decision. He can let his opponent stew in his seat for a few minutes more. And in the meanwhile, I'm sure, adrenaline is building up in his body as well. He now understands that this match is not over anymore. It's anyone's, actually.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence with that one. Just because of the timing, I kind of don't know. I feel the momentum is really with him. Maybe does he not want to keep that going? Okay, timeout's only for a few minutes, but maybe he could have taken it on the last break. I don't know. There's lots of different ways you can look at it. But I think what is very clear and what is a fact is that the score is 7-6, which I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth from when we said it was 6-0 and 45 minutes into the match. I think the man from Norway is a little bit shell-shocked in his chair right now.
Yeah, well, he needs to reset mentally. And I did say, even though probably a lot of viewers might disagree with me, he might be okay because it was a positional error. When you miss a straightforward shot, which always, particularly if you're a classy player, is a shock to the system, all of a sudden, you're like, wow, what's happened there? I mean, we can all overrun a positional shot. It happens. It's not ideal, of course, given the context of the match. But as long as you've been still potting the balls and, cueing positively, you still have a chance for my liking.
Yeah. Well, either way, he'll be sitting in the chair thinking, okay, prepare myself for this next break. Whichever way you look at it, similar to what we said earlier, if we said any player at the beginning of the tournament to tell you you're going to be in the final of the 8-ball, thank you very much, I would take it. If I was to say to you, you're going to be in the final, it's 7-6 to you, and you have one more break, how would you feel about that? He's got to be feeling good. He's got to put the pass behind him anyway. And remember that he is in the driving seat here. He's got the break. 7-6 up. And hopefully, in his mind, he can get another chance to win this match.
Well, as Juan Carlos returns from his timeout, if you've just joined us, welcome. We're watching the men's 8-ball final, race to 8. The story of the match, the man at the table, Emil Andre Gangflot from Norway, he went up 6-0 and he looked like $1 million. And ever since, as you can see from the scoreline, it's now 7-6. He's only won one rack. With me in the booth, Graham. Well, Graham, so many twists and turns. Will there be another twist?
Well, I don't even know what to say anymore. So I'm saying maybe the twist is a dry break, which we haven't had yet in this full event for him, in this match, sorry. You could just see it happening, couldn't you? Dry break. Wow. Could this just be destiny for Exposito? There was a stripe tracking to the left centre, but it got bumped out of the way. Maybe they might have to wait a moment, because I think Madonna's at the table. He's on the hill 7-5. It's a big moment for Exposito. Doesn't want to be distracted by celebrations and lights at this moment.
No, and you did mention something earlier on. To draw parallels, that was in fact the last break for Emil Andre Gangflot, whichever scoreline we'll have. And in the previous match, Juan Carlos Exposito, he was 7-4 down. 7-all. His opponent broke and scratched for the first time in the break in the match. Now, this was not a scratch, but it's still a dry break for the first time in the match. Incredible stuff.
Wow. I guess for the neutral fans, or even for maybe supporters of Exposito, there's one word I'll just throw at you, Aria: destiny. Sometimes it's a funny one to talk about, but it's crazy how things happen in this game. And what a chance he has here. These stripes are in pretty good shape. Maybe the 11 ball needs a bit of care, because it does only go in the bottom right. So how he gets there, it's really going to be down to a couple of shots, you would think, unless he uses, yeah, maybe a ball in the corner to go over to the right side of the table. It's not straightforward to get on this. That's what he's thinking, isn't it? He's trying to puzzle out in his mind. What is the best route? He's probably thinking, could he attack it after this shot? Take the one in the bottom left corner, maybe. Go from Germany. Madonna wins the under-23s. Pause for a moment again for another celebration. Hopefully the final celebration might be for him, but he's still a few balls away yet.
Thank you, light operator.
Ooh. Well, key shot coming up here, really.
He's got a shot available to him, and it is quite risky. I'll be the first to admit. He can play this with a lot of screw and side. And try to come in between the gap of the 5 and the 11. Oh, what a great shot. What a great shot that is, Graham. Never mind, forget what I was even trying to say. That was a beauty.
It really was, especially the context of the moment. And if that 8 ball does go past in the side, he's looking now. This is just remarkable. You can pot this, might just stretch a little bit. Bottom right corner. Play the other stripe in the top left corner. And then the 8 ball in the side. Now you can actually even play it in the side if he wants from this angle. There you see it does go in the side. But he is playing it. Or is he playing it? Maybe the 8 doesn't go in the side area. He's looking at the bottom corner. He's okay, but he would have loved to have been a bit straighter. Don't know how tight this is. A little shake of the head. Emil just sitting up in his chair a little bit, thinking, wait a minute. Well, tell you what, Arya, there's a famous advert in the UK called Carlsberg, and they always have these. If Carlsberg did pool finals, more of a gimmick to say it's the perfect final. I think we've just witnessed, or we're witnessing right now. Does it get any better than this? One player running away, looking like steamrolling at 6-0. Somehow, the man from Spain finds a miracle game, 7-7, hill, and he's got a break to win. It's lost for words, Arya. Incredible, this.
Yeah, there's nothing I can add to that, Graham. It's well, all you ask for in a deciding rack, deciding frame, is a chance. Will he get a chance?
Well, it's as a commentator, your mind racks of all the your mind goes through all the different scenarios. Is he going to get a dry break? Will he get a roadmap? Will it be a scratch? A handshake there, good sportsmanship, all these different things that you've seen over the years, and we try to think of momentum shifts, and we haven't had a dry break. We get a dry break. I don't think Juan Carlos has actually had a dry break. Will he get one now? So there's just so many things that you just think could happen. Yeah. I don't know. I think destiny for me is in the hands of the Spaniard. 7-4 down in his semi-final to get the 8-7 win. 7-4 down in the final with a break to win the title. Quite incredible. Cue ball. Oh! He puts a ball as well. He's on the solids. Oh my gosh! What a final this is. Sorry, get a bit excited, Arya.
No, why? No need to be sorry. Everyone watching this is on the edge of their seats. How is that cue ball not dropped? That is unbelievable.
Wow. I mean, not only did it not drop, how many balls flew past it? It didn't get a little bump to go in the side. So this is just, I mean, his teammates sitting in the crowd. I mean, sometimes it's harder to watch than play. People say, and I can totally relate as a commentator. You know, I'm English, and yourself, you're not Spanish and you're not Norwegian. So it's kind of, we're both neutral fans, if you like. But as a Spanish teammate, you must be feeling so nervous for your teammate.
Well, straight away, Graham, he's landed awkward on the 5. He's got very little angle to work with, and sure, that 6 ball seems almost unmissable. But you all know, when an object ball is that close in the corner pocket, actually controlling the cue ball while spotting it becomes the hardest part. Could manage some sort of an angle, and if you can send this 1 into the 6, doesn't have to take that option. But as you can see, that 1 is slightly occupied there. So he might elect to play that 1 onto the 6. It's not without risk though, Graham.
Yeah, and also with this combo, he doesn't want to play the 1 ball into the long rail right in the pocket, because there is a half chance this 6 might not drop. He needs to play onto the 6 ball clean. Ooh, just managed to get it through, and wow, Arya, I tell you what, in some respects I feel for the Norwegian guy sitting in his chair there. He's got to be thinking, what on earth has happened in this match? It will take some getting over, I do think, if he was to go on and lose from here. But the one thing in the back of my mind is, if Exposito can get over the line, what kind of celebration are we going to get? Will he get a deflated, absolutely exhausted celebration, or will he try to jump on the table? I don't know. This is quite incredible stuff.
Well, if he jumps on the table, he's in trouble, because they're starting the 9 ball tomorrow. So that's probably off the cards. Look, I asked you in a very unlikely position a few racks ago, is there another chapter to this story? And I'll ask you once again, for the last time, is there another chapter in this story?
No, I think he takes it here. The key shot, he's going to have to come above his last ball, because the 8 ball is blocked in the bottom left and the bottom right. so it's not so straightforward. This is the last chance hope for the man from Norway. All depends what kind of position he gets on his last ball here. Oh, he's going to drift past the 9. Oh my days, I thought he was going to drift behind the 9. Wow. Where does he put the 8 ball area? Top right? Doesn't go anywhere on the left.
Well, I want to see his angle on the 2 ball more than... Yeah, let's see if we can see the angle on the 2 ball here. Right, yeah, you can play for the 8 into the top right. Doesn't need to do a lot with a cue ball. Well, he will probably take this into the side pocket now. That even looks a bit easier to me. 105 participants, Graham, and it's all come down to this final rack. What a incredible turnover. I cannot believe what we are watching.
He's done it. He's absolutely done it. Wow, everyone. Tell you what, absolutely incredible stuff we're seeing right now in this 8-ball final. I really hope you enjoyed when you joined us for that full match, because 6-0 down, the man from Spain has come out again, a miracle comeback. 7-7, takes it 8-7, wins the 8-ball title. What an incredible result. First time in the final of the European Championships, gets his gold. Have to feel for the Norwegian Gangflot. Fantastic run, played phenomenal stuff in the first 6 racks. Yeah, he's going to get a bit emotional, I'm not surprised. Incredible scenes. That is the perfect final for the Spanish man, but yeah, incredible stuff. Now, we will be having the celebrations and the awards ceremony straight away. So maybe hang around for that. We will be celebrating Yasmin Ocean winning the women's and Uma Donna winning the under-23s. But for me, Graham Hickman and Arya Sharabi, thanks for joining in the box. Exhausted. We will be back tomorrow for the 9-ball kickoff for more drama. But for now, please stay with us and watch the celebrations. Teams getting embraced there. Fantastic stuff. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.
Good evening and welcome to the awards ceremony for the 8-ball tournaments here at the 2026 Predator European Pool Championships organised by the EPBF. So will you welcome our presentation party into the arena, the Sports Director of the EPBF, Mr. Gino De Ruyter, and the Organising Director of the Turkish Billiards Federation, Mustafa Nesimi Telli. So, firstly, our under-23 medalists. And will you welcome our bronze medalists? Firstly, from Switzerland, Sylvain Starkeman. And from Serbia, Lazar Kostic. Welcome our runner-up and silver medalist from Germany, Denis Lashkovsky. And finally, our gold medalist and Predator European Under-23 8-ball champion from Germany, Yuma Dorna. Will you please stand for the national anthem of Germany? And moving on to the women's division. Firstly, our bronze medalist. Will you welcome from Portugal, Sara Rocha. And representing Slovenia, Anna Gratisnik. we welcome our silver medalist from Spain, Maite Ropero. And finally, our gold medalist and predator, European Women's 8-ball champion from Austria, Jasmine Ocean. Please stand for the national anthem of Austria. And finally, the men's division. Will you welcome our bronze medalists, firstly representing Poland, Maciej Śnigowski. And from Finland, Kasper Matikainen. Our silver medalist, representing Norway, Emil Andre Gangflot. And finally, our gold medalist and predator, European 8-ball champion from Spain, Juan Carlos Exposito. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the national anthem of Spain. And that concludes the presentation ceremony for the 8 ball events at the Predator European Ball Championships.
Se le veía la medalla, Maite.